Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodesh. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, this was a video, a trailer from this video game called Fortnite, and I re-uploaded on my other channel. Okay, and when you basically, I guess there's a new season, a new update in the game, and the theme is an alien invasion. Okay, an alien invasion, and in this trailer, they basically show a giant chariot, okay, just coming out of the clouds. All right, and then it starts destroying things. Now, I want to mainly focus on in the first few seconds of this trailer. You hear this banana guy is going to come up and he's going to say something. All right, so I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to rewind it and play it again. All right, so it says here.
Then the rest of them showed up.
All right, and then it goes into the scene with the chariots, but I'm going to play it back.
Then the rest of them showed up.
See, so you got this individual, this banana man, John Doe. All right, and he says, then the rest of them showed up. All right, referring to these chariots. As you can see, the lights in the skies. All right, different, They start beaming things up. See that? But I'm just gonna hit the main parts. There we go. This part right here. All right, and this should remind you of something. So there you see it. All right, you see a giant. What's that? Revelation 1 and 7. Right? Let's go to that real quick. Then we're gonna come back and deal with what the dude said in the beginning. All right, but Revelation chapter 1 verse 7. And dealing with the return of the Lord, what does it say? Behold, he cometh with the clouds, which we know, or we should know by now, that these clouds, all right, are another way of referring to the so-called UFOs, all right, or the chariots of God, or the chariots of Israel, which is what you saw in that trailer right there. And it says what? He cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him. Okay, they also which pierced him, which proves reincarnation, because the people who pierced him, that was what 2,000 years ago. So how are they gonna see him? They're gonna be on the earth again. It says, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. All right, because he's gonna be them chariots are gonna be shooting laser beams. But what do you see? You see a giant chariot, a big giant chariot, and then you see little ones. Right? Why in that? Why have it that way? Okay, you think that's just by coincidence that they just, let's just make this new season themed with alien invasion with UFOs and so on and so forth? No. Okay, but let's actually go to the book of 2nd Ezra 13, and just to hit a point, we're gonna go to we're gonna go to 2nd Ezra 13. And I'm gonna start at 1 and jump down. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, which are the angels, and that man is Yahushua, the Messiah. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Okay, and now I'm going to jump down here. Or, matter of fact, I'll just read through verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. All right, meaning when he gave those commands and the laser beams came out of his chariot, okay, wherever it hit, they burned. All right, and here's an example. When this chariot parks, look at this. Right there, parks literally right on. Well, it's an island that they're on, but you get the message. You got the little ones here, then you got this giant, I mean huge chariot right here. Okay, And it looks like eyes, right? It looks like eyes, you know, like Ezekiel, that's how he described it. It had eyes round about, which are the lights, the windows, okay? Which looks like a wheel within a wheel. So now look at what it does. Boom. Destruction, right? Everybody's running, but you got this one alien here rejoicing, right? So you think all this that they're putting in a video game trailer is by coincidence? No, it's not by coincidence. All right. And then you see 51, right? Supposedly Area 51 type, thing. All right. Season 7 invasion. All right. 7 means what? Completion. Okay. So as you can see right there, all right, it's not by coincidence that they have they have this in the trailer, because as the scriptures say, the Lord is going to send his angels, all right, to go and gather his elect. That's why you got these smaller chariots, which are also going to be doing destruction. But when you look at this giant chariot that's parked on this island or above it, bringing that shadow of darkness, let's read here. 2 Ezra 13, continuing at verse 5, it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." And basically in the game, you gotta sort of, throughout that season, you gotta sort of fight against them, so-called defend the earth against these foreign invaders. All right, verse 6, "But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." And that's talking about the Lord's chariot. Okay, it says, "But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not." So Ezra is basically saying that this chariot of the Lord was so big, all right, that it was like a giant mountain, but he couldn't see where it was cut out from. He couldn't see the ends of it, okay, because that's how huge it is. So if you're let's say you're down here and you're looking up and you're seeing this right here, you ain't gonna be able to. It's just gonna look like a massive giant object covering everything, and you're gonna look for miles, and it's just gonna extend and extend and extend. Okay. So these devils know exactly what's up, because if they're able to, and like the saying, art imitates life. Yeah. Okay. When these, they know exactly what they're doing, man. Especially now that there are more and more chariot sightings in the world. Okay. So now let's go back to the beginning, and I'm gonna play it one more time what the banana said.
The rest of them showed up.
So he said, "Then the rest of them showed up," referring to the chariots and the so-called aliens, right? Now, the rest of who? Okay, what do you mean the rest of them? That means that they're a part of something, you know? And guess what? When you go to that reminded me of this right here. It's called The Incredible Story of the Black Jesus from the 1960s, which we've done videos on it. You can look it up. All right. But it's basically, for those who are not aware of it, it's basically, I'm gonna quickly paraphrase it or quickly sum it up, where there was this individual who they say showed up in, I believe it was Africa, and he was performing all these different miracles. And when the government went to the military try to, take him out, they tried killing him and setting him up and all of that, but he would just regenerate and they couldn't kill him. Okay. And so basically, as you see here, it says the contents, they basically tore him up, you know, uh, you know, separated him, broke his body down to the least of the least, and then put it in jars. And then it says the contents were then thoroughly and completely destroyed. It was hoped that this would prevent him from being able to regenerate himself. After this was done, the man materialized directly into the office of the people who had ordered his murder. It says there were no visible signs of damage to his body, he said, or his body. He said, "Your desire to prevent me from living on earth is so strong that I am forced to honor it for now. I will be leaving you shortly. However, in the future, many more people will develop abilities just like me. And once that happens, you will no longer be able to stop us from making this world a peaceful place for everybody. Now, if it's true, then A. If it's not, then A. It's still information, right? But nonetheless, it reminded me of this because if he's saying that we, right, you're not gonna be able to stop us, but he left, that means he's gonna return. Okay? And depending on how true the story is, guess what? These elites, they're not taking that for a joke, you know? So he says, then the rest of them showed up. Well, this guy, the man in here is saying that there's going to be people here that are going to develop these abilities. And then in the future, we going to come. All right. And basically join them. And that's what's going to happen when the Lord returns. He's going to come and bring the rest of the heavenly host. All right. Bring the dead in your house shall rise first. The Lord is going to come with the angels. And we're a part of that. Okay. The army of the Lord. So really, the banana is right to say, and then the rest of them showed up, because that's what's going to happen when the Lord comes, and then He's going to deliver His elect, and then they're going to come back down pursuant to Revelation 21, and then they're going to subjugate and basically take over everything on this planet. Okay, but now I have here the book of Psalm 64 and 6, going to show you as to why they will put something like this so detailed, right? Coincidentally, right? So detailed in a video game trailer, right? This is the book of Psalm 64 and 6. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, meaning their mind, is deep. So if you go to their classified files or things of that sort, you're going to see things, because these devils have technology that people don't even know exists. They have access. They have reach. There's a reason in Job 9:24 it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They have access and reach to places that we don't even, know about. Okay? And they've seen things that they keep to themselves. And they always say that. All right? Because some things they don't understand, but even still, they will not release it to the public. And if they do, they'll make sure they water it down or, add their narrative to it. But nonetheless, they accomplish a diligent search. So they know about these things. And in order to accomplish a diligent search, that means they don't ignore the things we say either. They see the chariots. They hear what we're saying. They have video evidence, video footage, all of these different things. The scriptures we quote, they go and they read it. They communicate with these demons. They do all of these things to gather a report. All right? And then they'll have the predictive programming and so on and so forth to show you these things. All right? It's not just coincidence. Okay? This is Ezekiel 28 and 3. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Because with their technology, they're able to, like archaeology, for an example, there's so much evidence that they have of historical events, but they don't release it. Certain things they'll release little by little to the public. Some they'll just keep, and they don't plan to ever release it, because either it'll go against the agenda they're trying to push, all right, or it'll cause mass panic, or it'll discomfort their devices. Okay, but nonetheless, anything quote unquote new or that happens, they want to basically have first dibs on it. But go ahead, you try to have first dibs on the chariot, and if they come out on some, well, they have parts technology from these chariots, that's BS, man. All right, there's no way a chariot from a different dimension, from the spirit world, is gonna come onto this lower dimension, and then what? Have a crash landing? What happened? The angel forgot to pump some gas into the chariot before he left the spirit world, so the chariot just crashed from the air. And then they got the angel in some tube, some container of liquid, and they just there with their wings. Part of it is cut, and they're experimenting on them. That's some BS, man. complete utter BS. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out real quick, just to show you, man, that we're at that time. Everything, when we talk about the vibration of the world, all right, pursuant to prophecy, that's everything. From the conversations people are having, to the things they're showing on TV, to the world events that are happening, it's all under the vibration of prophecy. All right, specifically the prophecies that are left to happen. All right, the chariot showing up, the nuclear destruction, and that the MOB. All right, along with the martial law and the famines and the pestilence and the inflation, the concentration camps, all of that. That's the vibration of the world, man. Okay. So whether you believe it or not, pursuant to Romans 3:3, that's not going to change it. That's not going to stop it. It's really going to do you well if you believe in it. But if you don't, well, that's to your own harm. Okay, that's not going to stop us from believing in it, and that's not going to stop it from happening. And we're going to continue to do what the Lord has told us to do until He tells us not to do it anymore. Okay. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Lord willing, I'll leave the link to this video and this article in the description. So if you're interested, you can check it out. Shalom.